I'm Mualla, and in this tutorial, we will get familiar with Custom List View. Don't forget to subscribe and watch my following tutorials. First, let's answer two questions. What is Custom List View, and why should we use Custom List View? We use Custom List View to list items, whether horizontally or vertically, and our items could be images and text from internet or a database or anything that you designed for it. Next question, why should we use Custom List View? To answer this question, we should know other alternatives of Custom List View, Recycler View and Ultimate List View. You can find them in forum of b4x.com. They have many features in box, but the problem with them is that if you use them, you cannot export your project and codes to B4i and B4J. If you use Custom List View, your project won't have any problem regarding your list in B4i and B4J. Now, let's learn how to use this wonderful library in B4a. This is an empty project. First, we need to activate the library. Click on Library tab and find Custom List View and activate that. The current version is 1.72. Now we need to create a layout which includes Custom List View. Click on Designer. Click on Add View. If the library is activated, you will see Custom List View here. Click on that and add it to the layout. Move it to the left top corner of your layout and make it bigger to cover the whole layout. These two dots show that the view is anchored to the left and top of the layout only and may not extend to other parts of the screen. So, let's change the anchors to both sides, vertically and horizontally. So, go to the middle of the list of properties and choose as I do. Now you see the view is anchored to all four sides. Let's change the name of the view to something shorter. We want to work with this view in our activity, so we need to define it. To do it, right-click on the view and generate a definition. Now let's close the designer and save the layout. Click on Save and type a name for it. Now we need to load our layout in this activity. We want 50 items to be shown, so let's use for statement. For I equals 0 to 49 and then press enter. Then type xCLV, which is the name of our view, .add. This way you can add items to the Custom List View one by one. We need two parameters. The first one needs to be B4X view. But what is B4X view? B4X views are cross-platform views which can be used in B4a, B4i, and B4j. If you use them, your project can be exported to others easier. Now we need one B4X view for our Custom List View. To create one B4X view, you need to activate XUI library. So let's do it. Now let's define one B4X view. Dim P as B4X view. B4X view can be any view like button, label, and edit text. Here we need our B4X view to be a panel, which can load each of our items in the list. So let's cast this B4X view to a panel. To do it, let's define a XUI variable. Now we can tell P variable to be equal to a cross-platform panel by using xUI variable. So far so good. So go to Designer and design a layout for each item. From File menu, create a new layout. We put one button to top left of the layout and resize it to 40/40. I want to add a label next to button. Let's add a little space between them and change the text color to dark color. Now I save the layout and name it Item. Now I need two lines of code, one for setting the size of each item and the other one for loading the layout for each item. The first parameter is for duration of the animation. We may talk about animation later. From top 0 and left 0. The width of each item is 100% X to cover the width of the screen, and the height is 40 dip. Good. Now I'm loading the item layout. Our B4X view, which is initialized as a panel and loaded a layout, is ready to be added to Custom List View. The next parameter is value. We leave it empty by typing two double quotations, and we'll come back to it later. It is time to run the application and see the result. Good. The list is loaded, but our label and button have no value. Let's set the value to them. Stop the app, and now we need to go back to Designer to define the button and the label for the activity. To go to Item Layout, hold Ctrl key and click on Item Layout. Right-click on each of them, and from Generator menu, click on the first two items. But which one you are going to use? If you choose the first one, which is Dim Button 1 as button, it cannot be a cross-platform view. So choose the second one. Do the same for Label 2. As you see, on the line 22 and 23, the definition of the views are added. Now we can change the text of each one. Be careful to add your next code after loading layout, because before that there is no button and label. Label 1.text equal double quotation item number double quotation and I. So each line have separate number. Button 1.text equal I. Let's run the app. Very good. The list is ready. Now we want to learn how to raise an event once user clicks on button or other parts of the item. We need to go to Item Layout again. Right-click on the button and from generator menu, create a click event. As you see, the event is added to the end of the activity. To access the button which is clicked, we need to define a new button and make it equal to sender. Sender means the view which belongs to this event. Now we can show its text in a toast message. Let's see the result. What about if we want to click on other parts of the item and get a value which was already given to each item? Let's give a value to each item and log it by clicking on it. I need to create an event for clicking on items. I open the layout by holding Ctrl key and then right-click on the custom list view, and from Generate, I choose Item Click to create its event. On line 36, I was supposed to set a value which I left it empty by typing 2 double quotations. Now I put I here, so each item gets one number. Now in Item Click, we have access to the value again. So let's log it. Now you can see, once I click on each item, I can see the value in debugging area. We will talk about custom list view more on other tutorials too. Don't forget to subscribe and watch my other tutorials. Goodbye.